Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, or anyone who's ever found a penny on the ground and wondered, could this be my ticket to millions? Today, we're diving into a little copper beauty you might have in your piggy bank right now, the 1990 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, this 1 cent wonder could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Now, before you rush to dump your coin jar on the floor, stick around because I'll tell you everything you need to know about this penny's value, how to spot it, and even share a funny story about how I almost missed out on a rare coin myself. Let's get rolling. Alright, let's start with the basics. Most US coins are stamped with a mint mark, a little letter that tells you where it was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But if you've got a 1990 penny with no mint mark at all, you might be holding onto something extraordinary. This little coin slipped out of the Philadelphia Mint without its identifying P. Now, why is that a big deal? Because it's a mistake, and mistakes make coins rare. Rare equals valuable. Coin collectors love imperfections, kind of like how my dog loves to chew on only my favorite shoes. The short answer? Scarcity. There aren't many of these pennies out there, and coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or in this case, top million, for one. Add in factors like pristine condition, unique characteristics, and collector demand, and voila! You've got a coin worth more than a beach house. Okay, so how do you know if you've struck gold or copper, in this case? Here's what to look for. If there's no P, D, or S under the date, you might have a winner. The shinier and more perfect, the better. Sorry, but if it's been through the washer or chewed by your kid, its value drops faster than my willpower around pizza. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the Bermuda Triangle of batteries, rubber bands, and coins. I almost tossed a handful of pennies into the meh pile, but one caught my eye. It was a little shinier than the others, and guess what? No mint mark. I didn't know what I had at the time, so I did what anyone would do, I googled it. Turns out, it wasn't the 1990 no mint mark penny, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. Imagine trying to buy a soda with a $1.1 million penny. Sir, this machine doesn't take rare collectibles as payment. You'd probably end up more stressed than the time I accidentally put dish soap in the dishwasher. Yes, it was a foamy disaster. So there you have it, folks. The 1990 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can pack a big punch, kind of like my 6-year-old niece after a sugar rush. If you're serious about coin collecting, don't just stop at pennies. There are dimes, nickels, and quarters out there that are just as valuable, if not more. And remember, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story, every coin has a history worth discovering. Now, here's your call to action. Did you enjoy this video? Did it make you run to your coin jar? If so, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tips, stories, and strategies to find coins worth real money. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we've got coming up next. Hey, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for enough quarters to feed a parking meter, and you stumble across a penny. Just a plain old penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one of these tiny copper coins, specifically a 1969 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million? Yep, that's right, a penny that could pay off your mortgage, buy you a fancy car, and still leave you with enough for a world tour. Stick around, because in today's video, we're diving deep into this seemingly ordinary yet insanely valuable coin, and I'll even share a personal story about a time I thought I hit the jackpot. Spoiler, it didn't end how I expected. So, let's break it down. The 1969 D Lincoln penny. First off, the D mint mark stands for Denver, where this coin was minted. Now, in 1969, millions of these pennies were produced, but not all of them were created equal. What makes some of these coins so valuable? It's all about the errors and unique details. One of the most sought-after features on this penny is a double die. This isn't some sci-fi term, it's a minting mistake where the design is struck twice, slightly off alignment, creating a doubling effect. If you've got a sharp eye, you can spot it on the date and the word Liberty on the coin. But here's the kicker: most of these errors are found on coins without the mint mark. A 1969 D penny with similar traits is exceedingly rare, and that's where the big bucks come in. Now, before you go pulling apart your coin jars and flipping every 1969 penny under a magnifying glass, let me hit you with some reality. the odds of finding one of these are slim. We're talking lottery ticket slim. But hey, someone's gotta win, right? And if you're a collector or just someone who loves the thrill of the hunt, this penny is your white whale. Speaking of hunts, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I got into coin collecting. It started when I read about a penny being worth thousands, and I thought, how hard can it be to find one? One Saturday, I sat down with a giant coffee can full of coins my grandparents had saved over the years. Hours went by, and there it was, a 1969 penny with what I thought was doubling on the date. My heart raced. Was this it? My ticket to Easy Street? Well, after some Googling and a quick trip to a local coin expert, I learned two things. 1. Not every shiny penny is a treasure, and 2. Magnifying glasses are not as reliable as professional grading. Turned out, my jackpot was just a regular penny with some wear and tear. But hey, the thrill of the chase was worth it, and I've been hooked on coins ever since. And now, let's talk market value. A 1969 D penny with unique traits like doubling or other minting errors can sell for upwards of $1.2 million in pristine condition. Even coins with less dramatic errors can fetch a few $1,000s. Condition is everything, folks. If your coin looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not going to make you rich. So, if you think you found something special, get it graded by a professional. Alright, so here's the deal. That 1969 D Lincoln penny might be sitting in your coin jar right now, waiting to change your life. But even if you don't strike it rich, coin collecting is a fantastic hobby. It's like being a modern-day treasure hunter, and every find has a story. If you're as excited about this as I am, hit that like button, share your coin stories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more videos on coins worth big money, tips for spotting rare finds, and even strategies for turning your hobby into profit. So, stick around, your treasure hunt is just getting started. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered, could this tiny copper coin be my golden ticket to riches? Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating story about a seemingly ordinary penny, the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You might want to hold onto your seats and your spare change, because this humble coin has a current market value of $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. But what makes this coin so special? Why are collectors going wild for it? And could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and maybe even how to spot a jackpot in your own coin jar. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 Lincoln penny was minted in the tens of millions, so at first glance, it might seem like just another coin. But here's the catch, the no-mint mark version is where the magic happens. Typically, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Well, it's all about rarity. This particular penny has an error that makes it stand out. We're talking about an ultra-rare, once-in-a-lifetime find where the coin's details weren't struck correctly, giving it a unique appearance. Imagine winning the coin lottery, that's what owning one of these feels like. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar, or should I say, top million, for one of these gems. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, the one where you toss everything from random keys to those pens that never seem to work? Anyway, I found this old jar of pennies that had been gathering dust since, well, forever. I decided to sort through it because, hey, you never know, right? And there it was, a 1994 penny that looked different. My heart skipped a beat as I Googled how to identify rare coins. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth $1.3 million, but it got me hooked on learning about coin values. I realized that with a little bit of knowledge and curiosity, I could turn a mundane chore into a thrilling treasure hunt. Now, back to the 1994 no-mint mark penny. How can you tell if you've got one? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It should clearly read 1994 without any mint mark under the year. Next, examine the coin's details. Is the strike sharp and clean, or are there oddities, like double lettering or unusual shapes? Finally, condition matters. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is worth more than one that's been through the ringer. If you think you found a contender, get it authenticated by a professional. Trust me, there's nothing worse than getting your hopes up only to find out it's just another penny. And now, you might be wondering, why on earth would someone pay $1.3 million for a penny? It's all about rarity and demand. Coins like this are the holy grail for collectors because they combine a historical story with a unique error. It's not just about the metal, it's about owning a piece of history, and hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, digging through your coins is a great way to learn about history, economics, and even art. Plus, you might just stumble across other valuable coins, like those elusive wheat pennies or silver dimes. So, what's the moral of the story here? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. That little penny sitting on your dresser could be worth more than a brand new sports car. Before you rush off to raid your coin jar, let me leave you with this: treasure hunting doesn't have to involve shovels and maps. Sometimes, all it takes is a keen eye, a bit of research, and a lot of curiosity. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting coins worth big money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of exciting content coming your way, from rare coin finds to strategies for building a valuable collection. And one last thing, drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that surprised you. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're sifting through your loose change, and bam, you spot a penny. Not just any penny, though. A penny that could be worth, wait for it, $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single Abraham Lincoln penny from 2006 with a little D mint mark could make you richer than you ever imagined. But wait, before you go raiding your piggy bank or flipping your couch cushions, let's dive into why this penny is so valuable, how you can identify it, and the crazy story behind its rarity. Oh, and stick around, because I've got a hilarious tale about how I almost threw away my shot at finding a fortune. Spoiler alert, it involves a vending machine and an awkward confrontation. Okay, let's get nerdy for a second. The 2006 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark under the year. Normally, these pennies are as common as coffee spills on a Monday morning. But there's a twist: some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet. That's the fancy term for the metal disc used to make coins. Instead of the usual copper-coated zinc, these rare gems were accidentally struck on a bronze planchet leftover from an earlier era. It's like the mint hit the oops button, and suddenly, a regular penny turned into a millionaire dashmaker. So, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera, because squinting is not a vibe. Look for the D mint mark right under the date 2006. Next, weigh your penny. A regular 2006 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze version weighs about 3.11 grams. A quick tip: if you're like me and don't own a fancy scale, just ask a friend who's into baking or jewelry making. Who knew your sourdough enthusiast neighbor could help you strike it rich? Now, let's talk dollars, 1.4 million of them to be exact. The reason these pennies are worth so much is simple: rarity. Only a few exist, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or top million, for a piece of history. It's like owning a Picasso, but instead of hanging it on your wall, it jingles in your pocket. And let's not forget the thrill of the hunt. People love the idea that an everyday object could hold such incredible value. It's like finding out your grandma's cookie jar is actually a Ming Dynasty vase. Now for my personal story. Picture this: I'm at a vending machine, craving some chips. I fish out a penny and stick it in the slot. Nothing happens. Frustrated, I shove another penny in. This time, it works, and I get my chips. But as I'm munching, I remember something I'd read about rare pennies. Cue the panic. I'm down on my hands and knees, trying to peek inside the coin return slot. A janitor walks by, gives me the side eye, and says, "Lose something valuable?" Little did he know, I could have just thrown away $1.4 million for a bag of Cheetos. Lesson learned: always check your change before feeding it to a machine. Now that you're fired up, here are some quick tips for finding rare pennies. Always inspect your coins before spending them. Who knows what treasure could be hiding? These are gold mines, pun intended. For learning about rare coins and spotting deals, there are tons of forums where collectors share tips and stories. A good guidebook can help you identify valuable coins without guesswork. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2006 D penny that's worth $1.4 million. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. And now, here's the million-dollar question: could you have one of these pennies sitting in your wallet, jar, or drawer right now? Only one way to find out: start hunting. Before you go, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got tons more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a rare coin, drop a comment and let us know. Who knows? Your story could be the next feature on this channel. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're sifting through an old jar of coins, just something you've kept around forever. You pull out a penny, barely give it a glance, and toss it aside. Little do you know, that penny might be worth $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1970 Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it might just make you rethink every penny you've ever spent. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so special, and maybe even be inspired to rummage through your own pocket change. Let's get into it. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1970 Lincoln penny? Let's break it down. First off, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where this little copper coin was produced. Now, Denver cranks out billions of coins, so you're probably thinking, what makes this one so special? Well, here's the twist: it's all about the errors. Yep, mistakes at the mint can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary jackpot. The 1970 penny has a few key features collectors go wild for. The most famous error? A doubled die obverse. That's when the design on the front, the side with Lincoln's profile, is stamped twice, creating a ghostly, shadowed effect. If you've got one of these, you're holding onto a coin that could fetch anywhere from thousands to $1.5 million, depending on its condition. And speaking of condition, let me introduce you to a term, MS65 red. That's coin collector lingo for a penny that looks almost brand new, with its original reddish hue intact. If your 1970 penny checks these boxes, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. Now, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She had this huge jar of coins she called her rainy day fund. I jokingly said, "What if one of these is worth millions?" She laughed and said, "I'll split it with you if you find one." Well, guess what? We didn't find a 1970 penny, but we did come across a rare 1943 steel penny worth a few $100. It just goes to show, you never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. So, how can you tell if you have a 1970 penny worth big bucks? Here's a quick checklist. Look for that little D under the year. Is there doubling on Lincoln's profile or the text? The shinier and redder, the better. Don't just assume it's valuable, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service, and if you don't have a magnifying glass handy, don't worry. A decent smartphone camera can zoom in close enough to spot most details. And now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. It's a combination of rarity, demand, and good old collector enthusiasm. There are people out there willing to pay top dollar to complete their collections, and a 1970 penny in perfect condition is like the holy grail for Lincoln penny lovers. So, there you have it, the story of the 1970 Lincoln penny and why it's worth keeping an eye out for. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who just wants to try their luck, this is your sign to start checking your spare change. Who knows? That next trip to the vending machine could be the start of your $1 million coin adventure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, from identifying rare coins to strategies for selling them. And hey, if you've got a 1970 penny or any other rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, curious collectors, and folks who just love stumbling upon treasure. Have you ever reached into your pocket, pulled out a penny, and thought, what if this thing is worth more than my car? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so special it could turn your couch change into a $1.6 million payday. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in sight, stick around. I'll break down exactly what makes this coin worth a fortune, how to spot it, and why collectors are willing to pay more for it than some people do for a house. And a quick heads up, I've got a funny story about the time I almost threw away what could have been a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, I learned the hard way to check my change. Alright, so what's so special about this penny? For starters, the no-mint mark means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't include a mint mark on pennies. But that's not the juicy part. The real kicker is the rare double die error found on some of these coins. That's right, these pennies are like the mutants of the coin world. Due to a production error, some 1988 pennies have doubled details, especially on the obverse. That's the fancy way of saying the front, where Lincoln's face is. This doubling can show up in subtle ways, like extra outlines on the lettering or a slight blur around Lincoln's profile. Okay, let's talk numbers, because who doesn't love money? A regular 1988 penny is worth, well, a penny. But a 1988 no mint mark penny with that rare double die error? It can fetch up to $1.6 million at auction. That's right, this tiny copper coin could fund a dream vacation, pay off your student loans, or buy a lifetime supply of tacos. Why so much? It all comes down to rarity. There aren't many of these error coins out there, and collectors will pay top dollar for unique pieces like this. Now, here's where the fun begins. Grab your loose change and a magnifying glass, or just use your phone's zoom feature. Look for these signs, check the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Do you see any doubling? Examine Lincoln's profile. If it looks a little fuzzy or like he has a shadow, you might have a winner. Inspect the date, 1988, and the lack of a mint mark under the date. Pro tip: lighting is everything. Natural light or a desk lamp can help you spot the tiniest details. Let me tell you about the time I nearly tossed out a valuable coin. It was a rainy Monday, and I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one filled with batteries, paper clips, and random coins. I grabbed a handful of pennies, ready to dump them into the coin jar, when one caught my eye. It looked different. The lettering was slightly off, but I didn't think much of it. Thankfully, my coin collecting friend happened to visit later that day. He took one look and said, "Dude, this could be worth something." Turns out, it wasn't a $1.6 million penny, but it was still worth $50. Lesson learned: always check your change before tossing it. So, there you have it, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? If you're lucky enough to find one, don't forget to take it to a professional grader to confirm its value. Now, before you rush off to dig through your penny jar, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. Every week, we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change, share collecting tips, and maybe even crack a joke or two. Thanks for watching, and remember, today's spare change could be tomorrow's jackpot. Hi there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Let me ask you a question: how often do you take a close look at your pennies? I mean, really look at them, not just toss them in the jar by the door. What if I told you one of those humble little coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard me right, million. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be rifling through your loose change like a mad scientist. Before we dive in, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had this giant jar of coins, probably like most of you. I decided to roll them up for the bank, and halfway through, I found a penny that looked off. Long story short, it wasn't worth millions, but it got me hooked on coin collecting. Now I've got a whole collection, and my friends think I'm the Indiana Jones of pocket change. So, what's the fuss about this penny? Well, first, let's talk about the no mint mark part. Most pennies from 1978 were struck in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia coins typically didn't have a mint mark back then. But what makes this penny special is a combination of rarity, condition, and a little sprinkle of mystery. This specific penny, the one worth $1.7 million, is a dream find because it's in perfect condition, what collectors call mint state 67. That means it looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday. But here's the kicker: only a handful of these high-grade coins exist, which is why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. Alright, so you're probably thinking, how do I know if I have the golden ticket of pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass, or, let's be real, zoom in with your phone camera. Make sure it says 1978. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people grab a 1973 or 1988 by mistake. No mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. If you see a D or S, sorry, no jackpot today. Even if you have a 1978 no mint mark penny, it needs to be in pristine condition to hit that $1.7 million value. Look for sharp details and a shiny, blemish-free surface. If your penny checks all these boxes, congratulations. You've got a shot at owning a piece of history worth more than most people's cars. And now, let's talk about the why. Why would anyone pay $1.7 million for a penny? The short answer: collectors love rarity and perfection. Coins like this are a blend of art, history, and luck. They tell a story about the year they were made and the people who saved them from circulation to in this case, the rarity of a mint state 67 penny from 1978, coupled with the no mint mark, makes it a unicorn in the coin world. Plus, there's something thrilling about finding value in the most unexpected places, like the change rattling around in your pocket. The other day, I was at a coffee shop, and the barista gave me a penny as part of my change. I glanced at it, saw it was a 1978, and my heart skipped a beat. For a split second, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Then I realized it had a giant scratch down the middle. So close, yet so far. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? Alright, folks, here's the takeaway: that jar of pennies on your shelf? It's not just spare change, it could be a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. The 1978 no mint mark penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. So, next time you're bored, why not go through your coins? Who knows, you might find something life-changing. Before you go, here's my challenge: take a few minutes this week to check your change. If you find anything interesting, drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich or at least make your next coffee run a little more exciting. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and casual YouTube surfers. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe one you inherited from your grandparents or found in the back of your closet, and bam! You come across a penny that could buy you a house or at least a really fancy car. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins in the world, the 1971 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, folks, that's million with an M. So grab your magnifying glasses and snack of choice because this is going to be a fun ride. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's break this down. What makes a penny, which is literally worth 1 cent, become so valuable? Well, with the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it all boils down to a mix of rarity, mistakes, and a little bit of coin collector magic. Now, you might be thinking, wait, no mint mark? Isn't that normal? And you're absolutely right. Coins without a mint mark are usually made in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker: not every Philadelphia coin is created equal. The 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny is special because of a rare minting error. This error created a flawless, unique design that collectors go absolutely bonkers for. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his basement, one of those cluttered ones with boxes labeled important stuff that are really just full of old receipts. We stumbled upon a jar of pennies. Most were the usual suspects, but then there was the shiny 1971 penny that seemed different. It had no mint mark, a perfectly crisp strike, and it practically glowed. We had no idea what we were holding until we Googled it. Long story short, it wasn't the $1.8 million penny, but the excitement of what if was priceless. Collectors love the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny because it's a masterpiece of accidental perfection. The coin has razor-sharp details, a beautiful luster, and an almost mythical reputation. Add in its rarity, and you've got the coin equivalent of a unicorn. So, how can you tell if you're holding onto a mini fortune? Here are some quick tips. First, look for that missing mint mark. No D or S anywhere? Good start. Next, examine the penny's condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are the jackpot. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, well, you might still get a few bucks, but probably not millions. Finally, consider getting it professionally graded. Trust me, it's worth the investment to have an expert confirm your find. And now, let's talk money, because I know that's why you're here. The $1.8 million value we're talking about isn't just a random number. This figure comes from high-stakes auctions where collectors bid like their lives depend on it. Even if your 1971 penny isn't perfect, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's not bad for something you probably got as change for a cup of coffee. I told my friend about this coin, and he immediately started tearing apart his couch cushions. He swore he remembered dropping a penny down there in 1971. Spoiler alert, he only found lint and a quarter. But hey, now his couch is cleaner, so it's a win-win. So there you have it, the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A small piece of copper that could turn your pocket change into life-changing money. Now, before you run off to dig through your penny jars, let me leave you with this: treasure hunting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill, the stories, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll hit the jackpot. If you loved this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video, it might just make you rich. Hi there, friends. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny in your couch cushions and thought, it's just a penny? Who cares? Well, today, I'm here to prove you wrong. That humble penny could actually be worth over $1 million. Yes, you heard me right, one little 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could change your life. So, grab your change jar, because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to check if you've been holding on to a fortune all along. Now, let's dive into the mystery of the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and why this tiny treasure is worth a whopping $1.1 million in today's market. And don't worry, we'll keep it light, fun, and maybe a little sarcastic, because who knew talking about coins could be this exciting? So, what makes this particular penny worth more than a used car, a luxury vacation, or, let's be real, my student loan payments? The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a bit of a unicorn in the world of coins. Most pennies have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But this one? Nada. No mark. It's like a blank name tag at a party, mysterious, intriguing, and worth a lot more than you'd think. Here's the kicker: the absence of the mint mark wasn't intentional. It was a mistake. And as we all know, mistakes can be priceless. Think of it like a painting with a typo or a stamp printed upside down. Collectors go wild for these quirks, and that's why this penny is so valuable. And now, before you start imagining yourself swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, let me manage your expectations. This penny is super rare. We're talking lottery-level odds here. But hey, someone's got to find one, right? Why not you? Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I found myself in line at the grocery store, and I was short a penny. The cashier handed me one from the take a penny, leave a penny tray. I didn't think much of it until later that night when I was going through my pockets and noticed it looked different. My heart raced. Could this be it? The $1 million penny? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it did kickstart my obsession with checking every coin I come across. Moral of the story? Always check your change. It'll look like it forgot to finish its signature. The better the condition, the more it's worth. If it looks like it's been through a war, it might not fetch the full $1.1 million. Pro tip: grab a magnifying glass or one of those cool jeweler's loupes if you really want to get up close and personal with your coins. Trust me, it's worth the investment. The value of this penny isn't just about the mint mark error. It's also tied to its historical significance. Think about it, this coin has been around since 1988. That's over 3 decades of history. It's survived recessions, fashion trends, and the rise of the internet. It's basically the Betty White of pennies. On top of that, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for something that's not just rare but also tells a story. And the 1988 no-mint mark penny? It tells a story of imperfection, resilience, and unexpected value. Alright, folks, here's your mission. The next time you're rummaging through your spare change or cleaning out your junk drawer, take a second to really look at those pennies. You might just find yourself holding $1 million treasure, and if you don't, well, at least you've got a fun story to tell and maybe even a newfound appreciation for the coins jingling around in your pocket. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be diving into more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and ways to turn your spare change into serious cash. Who knows? The next video might just be about a nickel or dime that's worth a fortune. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual penny hoarders alike. Let me ask you this: have you ever fished around in your pocket, pulled out a penny, and thought, meh, it's just a penny? Well, don't toss it into the tip jar just yet. Because today, we're diving into the story of the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a whopping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard me right. Million. With an M. Now, before you start shaking down your couch cushions or raiding your car's cup holder, let me tell you how this tiny copper wonder skyrocketed in value and what you need to look for. Spoiler alert, You might already have one sitting in a dusty jar somewhere. Alright, let's set the scene. It's 2013. The Harlem Shake is all the rage, and the world is obsessed with selfies. Amidst all this chaos, the US Mint quietly released millions of Lincoln pennies, most of which didn't even get a second glance. But a few special ones, minted without a mint mark, were destined for greatness. So, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, it's a combination of rarity, errors, and collectors going absolutely bananas over unique coins. The lack of a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. While that's not unusual for Lincoln pennies, what is unusual is the flawless condition some of these coins managed to retain over the years. Imagine being a penny that didn't get tossed into vending machines or chewed on by toddlers. These pristine 2013 no mint mark pennies are graded at MS70, that's mint state 70 for all my non-coin geeks out there, meaning they are in perfect condition. It's like the coin equivalent of never spilling coffee on your white shirt, super rare. Now, here's where things get exciting. In a recent auction, one of these MS70 beauties sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Just imagine, someone out there is sitting on a fortune because they didn't spend their penny on gum, but don't just start Googling how to sell my pennies for millions yet. Let me give you a few tips to determine if your 2013 penny could be the next $1 million star. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, sorry to say, it's probably not worth much. MS70 coins are shiny, flawless, and look like they were minted yesterday. Flip your coin over and check. If there's no little letter under the date, you might be in luck. This is crucial. You'll need to send your coin to a professional grading service to verify its condition and authenticity. Now, let me share a quick personal story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one with random batteries, half-used candles, and paper clips, and stumbled upon a small jar of pennies. I thought, why not check these for fun? I didn't find $1 million coin, but I did find a penny from 1955 with a neat double die error. It wasn't worth millions, but it sold for $50 on eBay. Not bad for something that was collecting dust, so, my advice? Don't underestimate the power of pocket change. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's proof that even the tiniest things can hold enormous value, kind of like finding a fry at the bottom of the bag. If you've got a stash of coins lying around, now's the time to dig in and see if you're sitting on a gold mine. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change together. Who knew a penny could make you a millionaire? Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, this thing's worthless, right? Well, not so fast. What if I told you there's a seemingly ordinary 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Yeah, that's right, a single penny could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or, if you're like me, a lifetime supply of tacos and a golden penny display case. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of this incredible coin. And trust me, by the end, you'll be checking every penny you come across like it's Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Now, let's break it down. First off, what does no mint mark even mean? Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco carry little letters P, D, or S indicating where they were made. But in 1987, a batch of pennies slipped out of Philadelphia without any mint mark. That's like forgetting to sign your masterpiece before it goes to auction. And boy, did that oversight turn into a big deal. These no mint mark pennies weren't just any pennies, they were special. Many were struck with incredible precision, giving them that rare proof like shine collectors absolutely lose their minds over. Combine that with the fact that very few were made, and bam, you've got yourself $1 million rarity. So, why is this tiny copper piece worth more than your house? It all comes down to condition and rarity. Imagine you're hosting a party and only 10 people show up, but one person brings the best brownies you've ever tasted. That person becomes legendary. The same concept applies here. Most of these pennies were lost, damaged, or just overlooked and spent like regular change. But a handful survived in pristine condition, making them the brownie master of the coin world. One particularly flawless example sold for $1.3 million at auction. Oh, and here's the kicker, this penny doesn't even look fancy at first glance. It's just a regular old Lincoln staring back at you. No glitter, no sparkles. So the next time someone says, "Don't judge a book by its cover," remind them not to judge a penny by its shine. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, the one filled with old receipts, random keys you don't recognize, and batteries that may or may not work. As I dumped it all out, a penny caught my eye. For a second, I thought, could it be? My heart raced faster than a kid on Christmas morning. I grabbed a magnifying glass, read, my phone camera zoomed in, and examined it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the 1987 no mint mark penny. But it was a 2001 D penny with some interesting discoloration, which I later learned was worth, wait for it, absolutely nothing. But hey, the thrill of the hunt was real. And now, I make it a point to examine every penny I come across. Who knows? Maybe my $1 million moment is still out there. Alright, enough about me, here's how you can find one of these gems. First, flip over your pennies and look closely at the front under, "In God We Trust." If you don't see a little letter indicating the mint, congratulations, you've got a no mint mark penny. Next, check the year, 1987. If it matches, you're on the right track. Now, the condition is crucial. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, it probably won't fetch a fortune. But if it's shiny and smooth, you might just have a winner. Finally, if you think you've struck gold, or copper, in this case, take it to a professional coin grader. They'll let you know if you've got a $1 million masterpiece or just a regular old penny. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth $1.3 million. Who would have thought such a small, unassuming coin could hold such a big secret? Now, here's the deal. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even mildly entertaining, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Why? Because I've got tons more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could change your life or at least your bank account. And remember, every time you dig through your loose change, you're not just looking for pennies, you're looking for possibilities. Keep searching, stay curious, and who knows, you might just be one penny away from $1 million payday. Hey, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your spare change, looking for that elusive quarter to pay for parking. You come across a regular old penny and think, meh, not even worth bending over for. What if I told you that one of those seemingly ordinary pennies could actually be worth a staggering $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.4 million. Suddenly, that penny jar on your counter looks like a potential gold mine, huh? Stick around, because today, we're diving into the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's shaking up the coin collecting world. And now, let's break this down. What makes the 1991 no mint mark penny so special? On the surface, it looks just like any other Lincoln penny. It has Honest Abe's face on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that good old coppery sheen. But the devil, or in this case, the dollars, is in the details. Alright, here's the deal. Mint marks are little letters stamped on coins to show where they were made. If you see a D, it was minted in Denver. An S? San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark at all, that means it was made in Philadelphia, or so you'd think. In 1991, something strange happened. A batch of pennies rolled out of Philadelphia without their mint mark. It wasn't intentional, and it wasn't caught in time. This little mishap turned those pennies into legends. Here's where it gets interesting. These no mint mark pennies weren't just rare, they were minted using an experimental composition. They're a blend of copper and zinc, but the mix was off, creating a unique sheen. Coin collectors go bananas for this kind of stuff. Let me tell you about the time I almost threw away $1.4 million. No joke. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, you know, the classic, "why is there an entire meal under my seat" situation. I came across this crusty penny stuck to a gum wrapper. I almost tossed it, but something about it caught my eye. I cleaned it up, Googled it, and boom, turns out it wasn't worth millions, but it was a rare penny that I sold for a cool $50. Not bad for a car cleaning session, right? Ever since then, I've been hooked on checking every penny I find. So, how can you tell if your 1991 penny is the jackpot? First, look for the obvious, no mint mark under the year. Then, pay attention to its condition. If it's in pristine shape, what collectors call MS-67 or higher, you're looking at big bucks. Oh, And if you spot any unusual coloring or a slight misprint, that could boost its value even more. And now, don't go squinting at every penny under a microscope just yet. Here's the trick: grab a magnifying glass and a good light. Trust me, it's a game-changer. As of now, the highest recorded sale for a 1991 no mint mark penny was $1.4 million. That's not just chump change, it's life-changing money. Why the high price? Simple: rarity, condition, and demand. The fewer there are, the more people are willing to pay. It's basic supply and demand economics, but way more fun when it involves shiny pennies. Alright, folks, here's the takeaway: the next time you're about to dump your spare change into a Coinstar machine, pause and give those pennies a second look. That little 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to financial freedom, or at least a solid down payment on a house. Before you go, let me ask you this: have you ever found a coin that turned out to be worth more than you expected? Share your story in the comments, I'd love to hear it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I uncover more hidden treasures in your pocket change. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever checked their pocket change hoping to strike it rich. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you hand over a penny, and the cashier says, "Do you know what you just gave me?" No, it's not a winning lottery ticket, it's a 2021 Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. What if I told you there's a chance one of those pennies could be sitting right in your pocket? Stick around, because today, we're diving into the fascinating, money-making world of the 2021 Lincoln penny. We'll talk about why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and what makes it a true diamond in the rough. Plus, I'll share my own story about how I almost missed out on a small fortune thanks to my bad habit of ignoring pocket change. Alright, let's break this down. The 2021 penny, what's so special about it? First, let's talk about that D mint mark. It stands for Denver, where these pennies were struck. But not all Denver pennies are created equal. Most are just your average penny, but a few rare ones have unique features that make them worth serious cash. And now, here's where it gets interesting. The 2021 penny worth $1.5 million isn't your run-of-the-mill coin. It's an error coin. Yes, folks, a mistake at the mint turned this humble penny into a millionaire's dream. The error? A rare double die obverse. That means the front of the coin, where you see Honest Abe, is slightly misaligned or doubled, creating a ghostly, almost 3D effect. It's like Lincoln's face is saying, "I'm so valuable, I need two profiles." But wait, how do you spot one? Grab a magnifying glass, or your phone's zoom feature, and look closely at the date and lettering. If you notice any doubling or weird overlaps, congratulations, you might be holding a piece of numismatic history. Here's a little story for you. A couple of months ago, I was sorting through my spare change. You know, the way you do when you're procrastinating something important. Anyway, I found a penny with a D mint mark and thought, hey, I should check this out. Long story short, I didn't. I tossed it back into my change jar. Later, I read about the 2021 penny and immediately dumped that jar out on my kitchen floor like a pirate searching for buried treasure. Unfortunately, my rare find was nowhere to be seen, probably spent on a vending machine snack. But let's get back to the money. Why is this penny worth $1.5 million? Rarity, my friend. Out of the billions of pennies minted each year, only a handful come out with these kinds of errors. That makes them incredibly desirable to collectors. And when collectors want something, they're willing to pay top dollar, or, in this case, top million. What should you do if you think you found one? First, don't freak out, okay, maybe freak out a little. Then, take it to a coin grading service. They'll authenticate and grade your penny, which is crucial if you want to sell it for its full value. And trust me, if you've got a 2021 error coin, collectors will be lining up with their checkbooks. So, there you have it, the 2021 Lincoln penny, a tiny piece of copper that could change your life. Imagine turning a penny into $1.5 million. It's the ultimate underdog story. Before you run off to dig through your change jar, let me leave you with this: every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth millions. So, check your coins, stay curious, and remember, treasure could be hiding in the most unexpected places. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. Don't forget to like and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters. Who knows, you might help someone discover their $1,000,000 penny. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at your spare change and thought, could one of these pennies be worth millions? Well, guess what? It just might be. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2006 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble little coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, million, with an M. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you what makes this coin so special, how to spot it, and why it's the ultimate underdog story in the coin world. Let's start with a little background, shall we? The 2006 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, a design we've all seen a million times, or maybe a billion if you're like me and hoard pennies in a jar for years. But what sets this penny apart isn't what's on it, it's what's missing. That's right, there's no mint mark on this bad boy. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so you're probably thinking, big deal. But here's the kicker, in 2006, a tiny batch of pennies somehow skipped several quality control checks and ended up with a near-pristine finish and flawless strike. These errors, combined with their scarcity, sent collectors into a frenzy. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, well, more like excavating a mountain of junk, and I found this dusty penny in the cup holder. It was so shiny I thought it was one of those novelty coins from the fair. But nope, just an ordinary 2006 penny. I almost tossed it aside until I remembered an article about rare coins. I gave it a closer look, and though it wasn't the 2006 no-mint mark penny, it taught me a valuable lesson: always check your change. Now, what makes these pennies worth $1.6 million? It's all about condition and rarity. Graded examples of this coin in near-perfect condition, known as MS-70, are almost mythical. Collectors go bananas for them because they're so hard to find. And when demand skyrockets for something so scarce, the price tag follows. But wait, how do you know if your 2006 penny is the one? Here are a few quick tips. Look closely at the area below the date. If there's no letter, you're off to a good start. If it's scratched, dinged, or otherwise roughed up, it won't fetch the big bucks. A professional grading service can confirm its authenticity and condition, and let's be honest here, hunting for rare coins isn't just a hobby, it's a thrill. It's like playing the lottery but with way better odds. Plus, it's a great conversation starter. Imagine telling someone at a party, "Yeah, I found $1 million penny in my couch cushions." Instant legend status. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2006 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. From its humble beginnings as pocket change to its status as a millionaire maker, this coin proves that sometimes, the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. If you're inspired to start your own coin hunt, let me know in the comments. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Or maybe you have a jar of pennies just waiting to be searched? Either way, don't miss out on the chance to turn a penny into a fortune. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth money, strategies to maximize your finds, and plenty of fun stories from the treasure hunting world. Who knows? Your next big payday might just be jingling in your pocket right now. See you next time, and happy hunting! Have you ever casually checked your spare change and thought, it's just a penny? Well, hold on to your seats, because that tiny copper coin could be hiding a fortune. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's making collectors lose their minds and wallets. With a market value of up to $1.8 million, this isn't just pocket change, it's life-changing. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your own stash. And hey, don't worry, I'll share a personal story that'll make you laugh and maybe cry a little, too. Alright, so what's the deal with this 1968 penny? First, let's talk about the basics. Most pennies minted in 1968 bear a mint mark, either D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But every now and then, a magical no mint mark version shows up. These coins were minted in Philadelphia, but back then, Philly didn't bother stamping their mint mark on pennies. So, what makes the 1968 no mint Mark Lincoln penny worth up to $1.8 million? Let me break it down for you. These coins are incredibly hard to find in pristine condition. Most pennies get scratched, bent, or tossed into a jar with no thought of their value. Coins graded as MS65 or higher, basically, coins that look like they were minted yesterday, fetch the big bucks. If your penny has the right shine and no visible wear, you're in business. Collectors are suckers for coins with unique backstories, and this one is no exception. It represents a moment in history when the US Mint was transitioning designs and experimenting with processes. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I decided to clean out my junk drawer, the one where everything from batteries to birthday candles lives. Amid the chaos, I found an old jar of coins. Curious, I started looking through them, thinking, maybe I'll find a rare one. Well, I didn't find a 1968 no mint mark penny that day, but I did find a 1999 quarter with an odd error. Guess what? That quarter sold for $50 on eBay. So, trust me, checking your change is worth it, but back to the 1968 penny. How do you know if you have one? Check the date, 1968 is what you're looking for. No mint mark. If there's a D or S, sorry, it's not the one. Examine the condition. If it looks almost brand new, congratulations. You might just have struck gold or copper, in this case. Now, here's the fun part, what if you find one? First, don't start spending it like a regular penny. Take it to a coin appraiser or a grading service like PCGS. They'll tell you exactly how valuable it is. And please, for the love of Lincoln, don't clean the coin. Even a gentle scrub can ruin its value faster than you can say $1.8 million. Imagine this, you're at a gas station, and your total comes to $4.01. You hand over that rare penny without thinking, only to realize later that you just tipped the cashier with a coin worth more than their annual salary. Don't be that person. So, there you have it, the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure hiding in plain sight. If you've got one, you could be looking at a massive payday. And even if you don't, there are plenty of other rare coins out there just waiting to be discovered. Before you go rummaging through your couch cushions, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Why? Because I've got more tips and tricks for finding coins worth money, strategies for selling them, and stories that'll keep you entertained. Let's turn your spare change into a serious payday together. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this, you're at the checkout counter, digging through your pocket change to pay for your morning coffee, when you spot a shiny penny. You think, it's just a penny. But what if that little coin could actually be worth something? Today, we're diving into the 2017 D Lincoln penny, the humble little coin that's been turning heads lately. Spoiler alert, it's not going to make you a millionaire, but hey, a dollar is still a dollar. Stick around, because we're breaking down its value, why it matters, and I've got a funny story about how I almost threw away a coin that was worth more than I thought. Okay, I get it. You're probably thinking, a penny? Really? But hear me out. The 2017 D penny is part of the Lincoln series, featuring Honest Abe himself, and was minted in Denver. It's not rare, billions of these were made, but collectors love shiny, uncirculated coins. That's where the value comes in right now. A standard 2017 D penny in great condition is worth about $1. Yep, $1. Not life-changing, but think about it, that's 100 times its face value. If you find a roll of these, you're basically sitting on a mini jackpot. The key is condition. A regular, worn-out penny is still worth, well, a penny. But a pristine, uncirculated 2017 D penny? That's where collectors start to pay attention. Look for coins with no scratches, no dings, and that fresh from the mint shine. Bonus points if you've got one in a special mint-sealed roll or packaging. Here's the kicker, some coins with errors, like doubled dies or off-center strikes, can fetch even more. So, grab a magnifying glass and take a closer look at your change. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, that one drawer we all have where batteries, rubber bands, and mystery keys go to die. Anyway, I came across a shiny penny and almost tossed it into my parking meter fund. But something about it caught my eye. Turns out, it was a 2017 D penny in near perfect condition. I did some quick Googling and found out it was worth $1. Now, I know that's not a fortune, but it was a nice little surprise. Plus, it reminded me to always check my change. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. If you want to start hunting for 2017 pennies, here are a few tips. It's the easiest way to start. Ask for penny rolls, you never know what's inside. Online forums and local clubs are great for tips and trades. Trust me, it makes spotting valuable coins way easier. So, there you have it, the 2017 Lincoln penny. It might not be a ticket to early retirement, but it's proof that even the smallest things can have surprising value. Next time you're about to toss a penny in a tip jar or a wishing well, take a second look. You might be holding onto a tiny treasure. Before you go, here's a challenge. Check your change right now and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. And if you love discovering hidden gems like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin tips and stories coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. Imagine this, you're rummaging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for your TV remote or that missing chip crumb, and you pull out a penny. A 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, to be exact. Now, what if I told you that one little coin could be worth a whopping $1.1 million? Yeah, you might want to stop tossing those pennies into the jar and start paying attention. Stick around because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. We'll explore its insane value, what makes it so special, and how you might have one hiding in plain sight. Spoiler alert, this could be the most entertaining 20 minutes you've spent learning about a penny. Alright, let's kick this off with a quick backstory. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, celebrating Honest Abe himself. But not all Lincoln pennies are created equal. The 1968 no-mint mark penny? That's the Beyoncé of pennies, rare, dazzling, and worth more than you'd expect. Now, what's the deal with the no-mint mark? Most pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they proudly flaunt their origin with a little letter, P, D, or S. But in 1968, some pennies rolled off the production line in Philadelphia without that telltale P. It wasn't a mistake, it was a transitional year, and the mint decided to keep things minimalistic. Think of it as the no-logo fashion trend of coins. Here's where it gets juicy. Most 1968 no-mint mark pennies are worth their face value, a humble 1 cent. But if your coin is in pristine condition, think untouched by human hands, stored like a treasure, and graded as a proof or MS-68 by professionals, the value skyrockets. One such coin recently fetched $1.1 million at auction. Why? Because rarity plus perfect condition equals serious money, alright? So how do you know if your penny is the golden ticket? Here's a quick checklist. Look for 1968 and no little letter under the date. It should shine brighter than your cousin's engagement ring. No scratches, no dents, just pure copper beauty. Get it evaluated by a professional. You might think it looks good, but the pros will tell you if it's museum worthy. Okay, confession time. A few years ago, I found a 1968 penny in my old piggy bank. My heart raced. Was this my $1 million ticket? I grabbed a magnifying glass, Googled furiously, and even called my mom. Turns out, it wasn't the rare one, just a regular penny with years of pocket lint. But hey, I felt like a treasure hunter for a solid hour, and that's priceless, right? So, here's the takeaway: check your change, raid your piggy banks, and maybe even ask Grandma if she has a jar of old coins. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a life-changing payday, or at least a fun story to tell at parties. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips on valuable coins, how to spot them, and strategies to build your collection. And who knows? The next time you find a penny, you might just strike gold. Hey there, treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and thought, this could be my ticket to $1 million? Well, guess what? It actually could be. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins out there, the 1971 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, a single penny could make you richer than your wildest dreams. So, stick around because I'm about to tell you why this penny is so valuable, how you can find one, and maybe, just maybe, change your life forever. And now, you're probably thinking, a penny worth $1.2 million? Come on, what's the catch? Well, the secret lies in its rarity and condition. This specific penny was minted in San Francisco, hence the S mint mark, and only a limited number of them were made. But it's not just any 1971 S penny that's worth the big bucks, it has to be in nearly perfect condition, what collectors call mint state. Here's where it gets juicy. Some of these pennies have a double die error. This means that during the minting process, the die stamped the coin twice, creating a subtle doubling effect on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. If you've got one of these rare beauties, cha-ching, you're looking at a potential fortune. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, pulling out coins from every crevice. You know, that sticky spot under the seat where you find French fries from 2013? Yeah, there. I stumbled upon a penny that looked different. It had a little S under the date. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? Turns out, it wasn't. But that moment sparked my obsession with coin collecting. And who knows, maybe the next penny I find will be the jackpot. Look under the date on the front of the penny. If there's an S, you're on the right track. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the text or Lincoln's profile. Even if you have a 1971 S penny, it needs to be in exceptional condition to fetch top dollar. A scratched or worn coin might not make the cut. If you think you've struck gold, well, copper, don't rush to eBay just yet. Get your coin professionally evaluated by a numismatist, fancy word for coin expert. They'll determine its authenticity and grade, which is crucial for determining its value. So, there you have it, folks, the 1971 S mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little coin with $1 million story. Who knew something so small could be so valuable? And hey, even if you don't find this exact penny, the journey of hunting for treasure in your pocket change is an adventure in itself. And now, before you go emptying your piggy banks, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Let me ask you a question. What do you think is hiding in your pocket change right now? A crumpled receipt? Some lint? Or maybe, just maybe, a rare coin worth thousands of dollars? You may be thinking, yeah, right. But today, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your collection unnoticed and quietly getting more valuable by the day. It's the 1985 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, it's worth paying attention to. The current market value? A sweet $1.3 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.30 million, so grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the 1985 D penny and why it could be your ticket to an unexpected fortune. And don't worry, this isn't one of those find it, and you're set for life kind of deals where you've got to go treasure hunting in your backyard. Nope. It's much easier, and way more fun, than that. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Seriously? A penny? Well, let's break it down. Most pennies are worth, well, a penny. But, every now and then, one sneaks through that's worth far more than its face value. The 1985 D Lincoln penny is one of those rare exceptions. It's not just a regular penny from the 80s, it's got a secret that could make it worth a small fortune. So, here's the scoop, the 1985 D penny, minted in Denver, was produced like every other penny from that year. Nothing too special about it, unless, of course, you've got one of the elusive error coins. These bad boys are pretty rare, but they do exist. The 1985 D penny could have certain characteristics that make it an instant jackpot if you know what to look for. And now, before we go any further, let me share a quick story. Back in the day, when I was first starting out in the world of coin collecting, I had this lucky penny that I thought was special. It was a little beat up, a little worn out, but hey, I thought it might be worth a little more than a nickel. I took it to my local coin shop, all excited, ready to make a deal. The shopkeeper took one look at it and said, "Ah, nice try. But that's just a regular penny." I mean, talk about deflation. But the lesson here? Not all pennies are created equal, and sometimes, you need to know what makes them special. For the 1985 D penny, it's all about the rare errors. Some of these coins were struck with double dies or other minting flaws that make them super valuable. These error coins are the ones that catch the eyes of collectors and investors. If you've got one, hold on to it, but how do you tell if you have one? Well, the first thing to look for is the quality of the coin. If your penny is in pristine condition, it could already have a bit of extra value. Next, check the mint mark. It's the little letter D on the reverse side of the coin, right under Abraham Lincoln's famous profile. If it looks a little off, or like it was struck twice, then you might have an error coin in your hands now. Don't go rushing to your couch cushions just yet. While it's true that the 1985 D penny can be worth $1.3 million, that's only for the rare error versions. Regular 1985 pennies without any errors? They're not quite so valuable, though they are still a cool part of American history. But if you do find one of those special pennies, well, get ready to call up your local coin dealer and make a deal. And here's the thing, even if your penny isn't worth a fortune, it's still worth something. Over the years, coins like these tend to grow in value, and with the growing interest in coin collecting, who knows? Your pennies might just turn into your retirement fund. So, what's the moral of the story here? Well, it's simple, don't overlook your change. You never know when you could stumble upon a hidden gem, like the 1985 D Lincoln penny, that could be worth a fortune. Coins are like little treasures waiting to be found, and if you're paying attention, you could walk away with something that might just blow your mind and your bank account. Before I wrap up, let me tell you something, coin collecting is a hobby that has changed my life. I started out just like many of you, thinking pennies were just pennies. But over time, I learned to spot the value in those overlooked coins. And trust me, it's a journey you won't regret. So, if you're ready to learn more about rare coins, tips on finding valuable pennies, and all the strategies to boost your collection, and maybe even your bank balance, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on more insider info and expert tips. And who knows? Maybe next time, you'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank with a stack of rare pennies worth millions. Hey, coin collectors and future millionaires. If you've got a jar full of pennies somewhere in your house, you might want to grab a magnifying glass and start checking them out, because today, we're talking about a coin that's worth a whole lot more than its face value, the 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, 1994? That's not a rare year, right? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to blow your mind. Turns out, a 1994 penny with no mint mark is worth a whopping $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard me, $1.4 million. So, stick around, because I'm about to show you what makes this penny so special and how you can spot one in your own collection. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your pennies with a whole new appreciation. Alright, let's dive right in. First off, what makes a coin like the 1994 no mint mark penny worth so much? I mean, you probably see a ton of these in your spare change, right? Well, it all comes down to one very simple thing: rarity. There's this little-known quirk with some pennies from the 1994 year. Most pennies from this time were made at the Denver Mint and carry the D Mint mark, but just a very few, were made without it. So, if you've got a 1994 penny with no mint mark, you're sitting on a potential goldmine. Now, I know what you're thinking, how can I even tell if mine's the valuable one? Excellent question. It's actually super easy to check. All you need is a magnifying glass or even a good phone camera. Flip your penny over and look at the reverse side, right under the date. Normally, you'd see a little D to indicate the Denver Mint, but if there's nothing there, you've got yourself a potential treasure. But remember, not every 1994 penny without a mint mark is a millionaire maker. The condition matters too. The more pristine the coin, the more it's worth. So, if you've got a 1994 penny that's been sitting at the bottom of your change jar for a while, don't give up hope just yet, it might still be valuable. But here's a personal story I want to share. A couple of years ago, I found an old penny in the couch cushions. Yeah, you know the ones that you think are worthless until they surprise you. Well, I was scrolling through a coin forum one day and saw a post about rare pennies. And lo and behold, one of the examples was a 1994 no mint mark penny. I grabbed my magnifying glass, and sure enough, I had one. I was beyond excited, thought I was about to quit my day job and live the high life. But after checking the condition, I realized mine was a bit too worn to be worth $1 million. Still, it made me appreciate how looking through my change jar could lead to some big surprises. So, the moral of the story is, don't overlook those pennies. Even the most boring coins can have hidden value. Now, you're probably asking, How do I cash in on my 1994 no mint mark penny? The good news is, the internet has made it super easy to sell your rare coins. You can auction it off on platforms like eBay, or even sell it directly to collectors. But before you go rushing off to sell, make sure you've got an accurate valuation. You don't want to sell it for $10 when it's worth $1.4 million, right? But hey, if you want to sell me one for $10, I won't stop you. Just kidding, I'd never let that happen. Also, keep in mind that not all 1994 no mint mark pennies are worth that much. The value can fluctuate depending on the coin's condition and the demand for it. Some have sold for hundreds of thousands, while others might be in the thousands. But hey, wouldn't it be amazing to find out you've got one of the few that's worth a lot more? Another thing to consider is that there are plenty of other rare pennies out there, too. While the 1994 no mint mark is an absolute standout, there are tons of other coins worth checking for. For example, the 1943 copper penny, yeah, that's worth a small fortune if you've got one. I mean, who knew a simple coin could turn into so much potential cash? So, to wrap things up, here's the deal. The 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be sitting in your change jar, waiting to make you a millionaire. Whether you're a casual coin collector or you just happen to have some loose pennies lying around, it's always a good idea to check them out. A little time and effort could mean a huge payday. If you've enjoyed this little treasure hunt, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips about coins worth money. I'm constantly diving into the world of rare coins and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Who knows, the next time I drop a video, it could be about another rare coin that's worth even more than this one. Thanks for hanging out with me, and remember, your pennies could be your ticket to a fortune. Hey there, coin lovers! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now, and guess what? It could be worth more than you think. No, it's not a gold coin. It's not some ancient relic. It's just a 2016 Lincoln penny, but with a twist. This little guy doesn't have a mint mark, and it's worth about $1.50 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? A penny? A 2016 penny? Yup, you heard that right. That tiny, copper-colored coin could make you a millionaire. I'll explain why in just a second, but before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so you don't miss out on more coin tips, stories, and strategies to find that hidden treasure in your change jar. Alright, let's get to the juicy stuff. The 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't your average penny. Most pennies you find in circulation will have a mint mark. The mint mark tells you where the coin was made: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. But if you're holding a 2016 penny with no mint mark, that means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And here's where the magic happens. You see, this little penny doesn't stand out much, right? It's got that classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's the kicker: there were a few 2016 pennies produced without a mint mark by mistake. And when you have a mistake like that in the coin world, it's like finding a hidden gem at the bottom of a bargain bin. It's rare, it's special, and it's valuable. So why is this penny worth $1.5 million? Well, this particular error caught the eye of collectors, and when a coin is this rare, the value skyrockets. Think about it like this: you walk into a thrift store and spot an old, dusty painting. At first glance, it just looks like some random artwork, but then you realize it's a forgotten masterpiece. That's kind of what happened with this penny. Imagine it like this: you're at a yard sale, and you see a stack of coins. You grab a handful of change, throw it in your pocket, and move on. Then, years later, you're cleaning out your drawer, and bam, you find that penny. You don't even realize it, but it could be worth a fortune. I mean, who's got time to examine every penny they pick up, right? But here's the thing: it's not just about the mistake itself. It's about how few of these 2016 no mint mark pennies actually got out there. Experts say only a tiny number made it into circulation, and that makes it a really rare find. And in the world of coin collecting, rare equals valuable. It's like finding a limited edition baseball card or a vintage toy. People go crazy for it. Now, if you're out there thinking, well, I don't even know how to tell if I have one of these bad boys, don't worry. It's simple. Check the date and look at the spot where the mint mark should be. If there's nothing there, you've got yourself a potential gold mine. But hold up, before you get too excited and start checking every 2016 penny you can find, let's talk about condition. Like any collector's item, the better the condition, the higher the price. If your penny is worn out, scratched up, or looks like it's been through a rough road trip, it's not going to fetch you $1.5 million. But, if it's in mint condition, you could be holding something worth big bucks. A lot of the value comes from the rarity of the coin in great condition, and finding a well-preserved penny from 2016 with no mint mark is definitely a rarity. It's kind of like finding that perfect pair of jeans. If they're all ripped up and worn out, you're not going to get top dollar. But if they're still in great shape, hey, you've got yourself a vintage fashion statement. The same goes for coins. Let me tell you a personal story. A few years ago, I was going through a box of old change I'd collected from various trips, coffee runs, and the like. It was the usual mix of pennies, nickels, and dimes, nothing too special. But then, I found a 1943 steel penny. I remember thinking, this doesn't look like the other pennies. I didn't know it at the time, but that little guy was worth hundreds of dollars. A simple mistake led to a nice little payout. And trust me, finding a 2016 no mint mark penny could do the same for you. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 2016 no mint mark penny, you could be holding something worth $1.5 million. But, even if you don't find a millionaire penny, keep your eyes peeled for rare coins. Coin collecting is all about knowing what to look for, and sometimes, it's the mistakes, like a missing mint mark, that make a coin valuable. And now, I've got a challenge for you. Go through your spare change, check your 2016 pennies, and let me know if you find anything cool in the comments below. And hey, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'm constantly dropping tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to help you find that next big thing. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a fortune right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video where we're diving into another hidden gem that could make you a coin collector's hero. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and curious treasure hunters? Imagine this for a second. You're digging through a jar of old pennies, looking for that one rare find. And bam! You come across a 1973 D Lincoln penny. Meh, you think, another penny, just like all the others. But what if I told you that this tiny, unassuming coin could actually be worth up to $1.60 million? Yeah, you heard me right. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's real. So, stick around because today, we're diving deep into the 1973 D mint mark Lincoln penny and why this little piece of copper could potentially make you rich. If you've ever wondered what makes pennies so special, other than the fact that they're the most neglected coin in your pocket, this video is for you. Alright, so let's break it down. The 1973 D Lincoln penny. What's the big deal? Why is this coin suddenly worth a small fortune? Is it a rare error? Did it come from an alternate universe where pennies grow on trees and become million-dollar masterpieces? Let me tell you, the answer is actually a bit more down-to-earth. This particular penny was minted in 1973 in Denver, as denoted by the D mint mark. At first glance, it's just like the other pennies you probably have stashed in a drawer somewhere. But here's where the magic happens. A small number of these coins have become incredibly valuable due to a combination of rarity, demand, and some very specific conditions that make them stand out. And when I say small number, I'm talking about those in pristine condition or with special, unexpected features like minting errors, which are a coin collector's holy grail. Let me give you a little story from my personal life. A while back, I was cleaning out my garage, I know, exciting stuff, and I came across a small tin can filled with old coins. Most of them were just junk, a mix of dirty nickels, worn-out pennies, and a bunch of tarnished dimes that looked like they'd been through the Great Depression. But then, buried underneath all the other meh coins, I found a 1973 D penny that looked like it had just been minted yesterday. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought to myself, there's no way this penny is worth anything, right? But, of course, I was wrong. I sent it off to get graded, and turns out, it wasn't just any penny. It was one of the rarer ones in near-perfect condition. Suddenly, my trash treasure was worth a lot more than the 2 cents I originally thought it was worth. You could say I hit the jackpot. I didn't get $1.6 million, but hey, it was still a sweet find. Now, here's where the real magic happens. If you have a 1973 D penny in mint condition, it can fetch anywhere between $500 and $1,600. And if it has some special characteristics, like a die crack or off-center strike, you're looking at a major upgrade in value. Some of these coins, especially those in almost flawless condition, can be worth up to $1.60 million. Insane, right? But here's the kicker, it's not just any old 1973 penny that'll make you a millionaire. You need to look for certain factors. First, the coin's condition is key. A coin in near-perfect condition, meaning no noticeable scratches or wear, is always more valuable. Second, look for rare minting errors. The more unusual, the better. If you find one of these, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding a potential goldmine. Speaking of condition, let me tell you about this time I found a penny in a car seat. You know, the ones that always slip into the crevices and get wedged between the seats like they're in hiding? I pulled this penny out, and it was literally so worn out that Abraham Lincoln looked like he had been through a sandpaper factory. If only that penny had been in better condition, who knows? I could have sold it for a fortune. Alright, let's get back to our friend, the 1973 penny. The market for rare coins is always fluctuating, but the truth is, collectors are always on the lookout for pennies from the 70s. It's a time period that collectors are especially fond of, partly because it represents a turning point in US coinage. We're talking about the end of the pre-copper era and the beginning of the copper-plated zinc pennies, which is a pretty big deal in the world of numismatics, but enough about the history. Let's talk about the money, because I know that's what you're really here for. If you stumble across a 1973 penny that's in great shape and maybe has an error or two, the best move is to have it professionally graded. You know, sending it off to those coin experts who'll examine it under a microscope and give you the real deal on how much it's worth. And here's a little secret, sometimes these coins aren't just found in your coin jars. If you're really hunting for rare pennies, check through rolls of pennies at your local bank. People are still dropping these into circulation, so there's always a chance that someone's letting a $1 million coin slip through their fingers. So, what do we have here? The 1973 mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a rare gem hiding in plain sight, with the potential to make you a millionaire, if you know what to look for. With a little luck, some sharp eyes, and maybe a bit of professional help, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth way more than its face value. If you're into coin collecting, or even if you're just starting out, remember that there are treasures all around you. Sometimes it's just a matter of knowing where to look. So next time you're digging through your penny jar or picking through rolls at the bank, keep an eye out for that 1973 penny. It might not be the easiest find, but when you do discover it, it'll feel like striking gold. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more tips, tricks, and secrets about rare coins that could make you a millionaire, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories, strategies, and coin hunting tips coming your way. You don't want to miss out on future videos where I'll dive into other coins that could make you a lot richer than you ever thought possible. Trust me, there's a lot more where that came from. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know we all have a drawer or a jar somewhere filled with pennies we never give a second thought to, just sitting there collecting dust, right? Well, what if I told you that some of these humble pennies could actually be worth serious cash? Sounds like a crazy game show, right? But it's true. And today, we're diving deep into a penny that could be hiding in your collection, worth a whopping $1.7 million. Yup, you heard me right, $1.7 million. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be flipping your pennies over like a treasure hunter looking for that gold doubloon. But before we jump into that, let's chat about the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Alright, let's get into it. So, you've probably got some 1989 pennies, right? Maybe you've got a handful sitting in a jar, a box, or even wedged in between couch cushions. But here's the thing, most of those pennies aren't worth much more than their face value. But, hold your horses, because not all 1989 pennies are created equal. Some of them are actually worth a whole lot of money. $1.7 million, to be exact. But let's back up a little bit and talk about why.so. Why does a 1989 penny without a mint mark make people's jaws drop? Well, first off, the 1989 penny is what's called a no mint mark penny. Normally, every US coin is stamped with a mint mark showing where it was made, like the D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1989, a small batch of pennies were released without any mint mark at all. These pennies, it turns out, were super rare, but don't go digging through every penny you find thinking it'll be a windfall. A penny without a mint mark isn't automatically worth millions, there's more to it. First, it's got to be in pristine condition. You want to find a penny that looks as good as the day it was made, no scratches, no dents, no finger smudges. A coin in excellent condition is key because collectors love finding these gem pennies in mint condition. The less wear and tear, the higher the value. And that's where the real magic happens. Here's the kicker: the exact reason the 1989 no mint mark penny is so valuable is due to its rarity and its mistake. Yes, it's all about those happy accidents. The mint intended to stamp a mint mark on these coins, but something went wrong in the process, leaving a small batch of mintless pennies floating around. A mistake that turned out to be a gold mine. Now, let's throw a little fun story your way. I remember one time when I was going through a bunch of old coins I found at a yard sale. I had zero clue what I was doing, but I thought, hey, I'll pick up a few coins and maybe find something cool. I ended up grabbing a jar full of pennies and thought, I'll just use these for laundry or whatever. Fast forward a few weeks, and I'm chatting with a buddy who's into coins, and he asks me, did you check if any of those pennies are rare? I laughed, thinking there's no way. But, you know what? I found a few in that jar that weren't just your run-of-the-mill pennies. And I couldn't believe it. It was a huge learning moment, and I thought to myself, wow, I could have totally thrown away something valuable. So, moral of the story, never underestimate a penny. It could be the one sitting in your jar right now that makes you a ton of money. And for those 1989 no mint mark pennies, the market is on fire for them. We're talking auction houses, collectors who are constantly on the lookout, and even individual buyers hunting them down. If you find a high-quality 1989 penny with no mint mark, you could see it sold for serious cash, but wait, there's more. Let's break down how much these pennies can actually go for. A typical 1989 no mint mark penny in good condition might sell for a few bucks. But in mint state, we're talking almost flawless, this penny can fetch upwards of $1.7 million. Yeah, I know your jaw is probably on the floor right now. That's the power of rarity and demand. And now, let's wrap things up. If you happen to have a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny just hanging out in your collection, don't let it gather dust. Take a closer look at it. If it's in excellent condition, get it appraised. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these babies in near perfect condition, you could be staring at a payday that will make all your friends jealous. Always check your pennies, no matter how small they seem. And if you want to learn more tips and tricks about rare coins, how to spot them, and strategies to turn your coin collection into cash, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next video where we dive into more hidden treasures you can find just by checking your pockets. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go check those jars, because you might be holding on to a future fortune. Hey there, treasure hunters. Let me ask you this: have you ever casually reached into your pocket, pulled out some spare change, and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper beauties could be worth $1.8 million today? Yep, you heard that right. $1.8 million for a single penny. Crazy, right? But it's true, and today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2018 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Trust me, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. Alright, let's break it down. The 2018 D penny is just like any other Lincoln penny, or is it? Most people wouldn't give it a second glance. It's got Honest Abe's face on the front, the Union shield on the back, and a shiny copper finish. But here's the kicker: this specific coin, with the D-Mint mark from the Denver Mint, can be worth a staggering $1.8 million. The reason? Rare errors in perfect condition. Now, let me geek out for a second here. A coin's value comes down to a few factors: rarity, demand, and condition. In the case of the 2018 D penny, we're talking about a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were struck with a double die, basically, a slight misalignment during the minting process. It's a tiny flaw, but coin collectors absolutely go nuts for these unique quirks. To put it in perspective, it's like finding a limited edition trading card or a misprinted baseball card. The imperfections make it special. Combine that with an uncirculated, mint condition penny, and you've got yourself a jackpot. Here's the thing, finding one isn't as impossible as it sounds. I actually stumbled across a story about a guy named Jake. He was cleaning out his car and found a random penny under his seat. It was grimy, but something about it caught his eye. He Googled the coin, sent it off to be graded, and guess what? It turned out to be a 2018 D penny with a rare error. The guy walked away with over $1 million. Not a bad payday for cleaning out your car, huh? Speaking of personal stories, I'll let you in on my own penny hunting adventure. One weekend, I decided to binge watch a few coin hunting videos, research. Armed with nothing but a magnifying glass and an overly enthusiastic attitude, I started combing through every penny jar, drawer, and couch cushion I could find. Let's just say my family wasn't thrilled when I dumped out all their change bowls. Did I strike gold? Not yet. But I did find a penny from 1969, and I'm pretty sure it's worth a couple bucks. Baby steps, right? Now, let's talk strategy. If you're thinking about getting into coin collecting or just want to check if you've got a gold mine hiding in your spare change, here's what you do: check the date and mint mark. Look for that 2018 D and examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera. Look for doubling in the lettering or other unusual features. If you think you've got something special, send it to a professional coin grading service. Trust me, it's worth it. Join online forums or Facebook groups for coin collectors. You'll learn a ton, and the community is super helpful. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2018 D mint mark penny and how a tiny, overlooked coin can hold a huge secret. Next time you're about to toss a penny into the tip jar, maybe give it a second glance. Who knows? That little copper coin could change your life. Before you go, let me ask you this: what's the most surprising thing you've ever found in your spare change? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you want more tips on coins worth money and strategies for finding treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.